Hey fam, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be once again shopping my stash. We're going to be going over the products from last rotation. We're going to be picking out some new products, and then we'll get a little bit more up close and in depth with the products that we pulled. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and stay tuned. We're going to get into it right now. So the way that I like to do my shop my stashes is in 3 parts. The first part is basically going over all of the products that I pulled during the previous rotation and letting you know my thoughts. The second part of the video will be physically shopping my stash for new products. And the third part of the video will be going over those products in a little bit more detail, some swatches, some up close shots of the products and colors, and an overall comprehensive look at the products that I'll be using in upcoming videos, where applicable. Because these videos are a little bit more multifaceted, they tend to be on the longer side. So I typically like to include timestamps for these videos so that you can skip around. That way, if you're only interested in a portion of the video, like shopping my stash, or you want to skip right to the end and see all the products up close, you have those options. And if you're following this series and saw the video of the last rotation, you may be more interested in the reviews in the beginning. So this is a bit of a choose your own adventure. I'd actually love to hear your feedback if you like this style of video, if you enjoy seeing the review roundup at the beginning of the video, seeing the stash, and then seeing the swatches at the end. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
So it is time once again to shop my stash, and I thought we would start by going over the products that I pulled last time in my stash, and then we will pull some new products. I don't think I'm going to go over every single product. I think that would take us forever and it might be kind of boring, but I'm just going to give like a general overview of some of these products and the standouts. So let's go ahead and start with the pigments that I pulled. To be honest, I did not reach for the majority of these little single eyeshadow products. I just didn't have time. I didn't have desire. I swatched a couple of these, but I need to do better with using my individual pigments and such, but I did actually use 2 products. I used the Iconic London Chrome Flash Eye Pot in the shade Eclipse. This is beautiful. It's like a pretty purpley gray shade, and I found this really easy to apply on my lids. I used this along with the Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels palette, and I thought it was a beautiful look, so I really did enjoy using this product. I also did get a chance to use this Essence Melted Chrome eyeshadow as well. This is in the shade Zinc About You. My friend Andy from Beauty with Andy was actually talking about how she really liked this product. I had tried it once before and I found that it creased on my eyelids. I'd even tried it with glitter glue, but I tried it again over top of a matte eyeshadow, and this time for some reason, whether it be my eye primer or whatever, it actually worked a lot better for me, so I'm glad I gave this a second try. It's a really beautiful shade. Another giant category that I had were lippies. I pulled this entire box of liquid lipsticks, lip glosses, lip pencils, bullet lippies, all kinds of lip products, and I did use a bunch of them. I think this is the amount of products that I didn't really reach for too much. I don't think I used any of these at all, but they were nice to have as options. But then I did use all of these lippies. I enjoyed using the exposed lip combo from Kylie Cosmetics. These liquid lipsticks are definitely dry, but they have the best lasting power. They really will just stay on your lips forever through eating. I like that about these lipsticks. Are these the most comfortable formula? Absolutely not, but I do love their lasting power. And I do love her lip liners. They're really creamy and really beautiful shades. She picked really good tones for these. I also really enjoyed this lip combination with my Too Faced glitter lipstick, this Marc Jacobs gloss, and my Buxom lip liner. I did some looks where I used burgundy on the lips, and this was the combination that I used. I also had some fun with a hot pink lip in my GlamLite X Michaela video, and I thought this was a really pretty combination. For something a bit more summery, I did enjoy using my NYX Super Clicky matte lipstick, as well as my NARS lip crayon and Fenty Gloss Bomb. I thought these were really pretty for like a coral lip look. Some other honorable mentions were that my Clinique lippy in Real Life, and then my Jouer Longwear Cream Lip Liner in Pink Champagne Shimmer. I thought these were really pretty together as well. And lastly, I did get some use out of this flower lipstick. This is in Naked Blush, and I thought this was really pretty, as well as my Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Aruba. I felt like pulling a bunch of lippies was good because it made me really switch it up and get some more use out of some products I had been neglecting. I'd also pulled in this little Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. Mine is in translucent. I do like this powder, but I don't love it. I don't think this would be a favorite. I think it falls somewhere in the middle. I like the way that it does blur my skin a bit, but I find that under my eyes it can look a little bit dry sometimes. It kind of just depends on the day. I don't know if you guys notice that too with some products you try. Like some days you really like them and some days you don't. I definitely felt like I had some experiences like that with some of my complexion products from this stash. So I do like this. I do have a backup of it, and I'm questioning whether or not I will keep my backup. We'll see, but I want to continue to use this, hopefully use it up. but I'm just not as in love with this product as I once was. Moving into the top drawer of my little 4-drawer acrylic container. This is where I kept all of my complexion products. As you can see, I'm nearing the end of yet another Avant moisturizer. This is my favorite one. There's like barely anything left in here. And I really did enjoy this Verso Super Eye Serum. This is about to go into my empties as well. I'll give you guys more feedback on these products when we go over them in my empties. This one needs no introduction because I've used up 2 or 3 of these. I think 2 of them so far. Of this specific kind, and then Avant does have another moisturizer that I like, and I've used up one of those as well. And this Verso Eye Serum I really did like, and like I said, I'll talk more about this in my empties. Pull in this new eye cream from Maypilum. This I got in a BoxyCharm. This one is okay. I don't like it as much as the other eye cream, but we are going to use this up. Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. I keep putting this in and out of my stash to use it up. I just don't think this really does anything, to be honest. I didn't really notice. I mean, it's a little bit moisturizing, but nothing special on top of what my regular moisturizer does. So I don't know. I'm like, part of me just wants to use this up and part of me just wants to clutter it. We'll see what happens with this guy. I pulled in 3 foundation type products. The L'Oreal True Match Lumi, the Becca Light Shifter Doing Tinted Moisturizer, and this Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. This one I had a love-hate relationship with. I do like this product, but I only really like this with my e.l.f. primer, my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, I think it's called. That's the only primer I like with this foundation. I think everything else, it looks a little streaky. It wears off too quickly. It can be a little too glowy for me sometimes, but I find that with the e.l.f. primer and then going in with maybe like 2 layers of this foundation, I really, really love it. I think it's beautiful. The Becca Light Shifter is a gorgeous product, but it's a little less of a foundation than I thought it would be. It's a little bit more of a like Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter type product. So this one I wouldn't really consider too much of a foundation. It's super light coverage and it's very glowy. So I think of this more of like a mixer or like an auric product. So I do really like this. It's just not quite what I thought it was in terms of a foundation. And then the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, I do like this. This doesn't wear the most beautifully on my skin. I think this can tend to look a little bit cakey and a little bit oily over time, but I mean, all 3 of these are good. I like them all, but I would say that these would fall like in the middle of a favorites video. They wouldn't be at the top or the bottom. Nothing really to write home about, but they're not bad products. I just definitely have some affordable foundations in my collection that I like a lot more than these 2. I finished up my Farsali Liquid Glass Face Serum. I mean, there's like a drip in here, but it's pretty much gone. So I'll be moving this out and moving a new serum in. All that I have left in this drawer is my Iconic Beauty Blur Stick, which is similar to like the Milk pore filling primer that they have. I really love this product. I still have my Skin Fix Natural Lemon Mint Lip Balm, which I use all the time. And then I have this little St. Ives lip scrub. So these are just like project pans. And then moving into my second drawer, I have this Priming is Everything eye primer from the Balm in here. I mean, this is like kind of crusty. I think I'm just going to get rid of this. I'll just throw this in my empties. Then I have a couple more products in here. I have my NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Chocolate, and this is a little bit too red for me, but I'm just trying to use this up. I think I might have a couple of these in this color, which is unfortunate, but just trying to plow through them. I'm still enjoying my Urban Decay Perversion mascara on my lower lash. I do think I finished this Total Temptation Maybelline mascara. I will put this in my empties and we'll go over this as well during that video, but this is what the wand looks like. There's still a little bit of product in here, but it's kind of dried out and crusty, and it's just time for a new one. And then I've been using this Dragon Lash from Queen Studio. It's not too bad. This is my new mascara that I'm working on. It's got a pretty unique brush. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like got different types of bristles on each side, so you can kind of like lengthen and volumize. Not too bad. It's not quite like some amazing product like I thought it might be based on some of the reviews I'd seen, but it's good. It's nice. I don't mind it at all. I also talked with you guys a bit about this NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. This is just a purple color corrector. So this is something I'm working on. I don't like it as much as I like that Catrice Creme color correcting palette, but this is a nice product, and I got it for $6 on Amazon. I've also been loving my GlamLite Eye-Cing eyeshadow base. I'm just keeping this in my stash because I use this constantly. Mine is in the shade Classic Vanilla. I also pulled in a new Kiss Strip Lash Glue because mine was getting all crusty. And this is the Essence Make Me Brow, which I'm working on using up as well. Making pretty good progress on this. This is a great little product, but I have a lot of brow gels and I want to get through them. I'm also almost finished this eye primer from Elizabeth Mott. This is the Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. I have like the littlest bit left. I just haven't been reaching for this because I've been so in love with that Eye-Cing eyeshadow base, but I really should focus on just getting this last little bit finished and I can put this in my empties. And then I have one more Kiss Lash Glue. I think this one's dried out too. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I think this is kind of gunky. This is going to go on my empties as well. And then I did try the NYX, the brow glue. This is okay. It's not a favorite, but I threw it in here to keep playing with it and trying it. And I also have my NYX glitter primer in here because I use it all the time. And then these last two brow products, the Iconic Brow Cushion and this Studio Perfect, I just keep in here to try to use them up. And these are all some little skanky Q-tips. And moving into the third drawer. I didn't end up using my Becca backlight priming filter at all. I think because I already had that glowy product from the Doing Skin Tint. I just didn't reach for this as much, and my foundations were a little bit too glowy at times, so this would just have made them glowier. So I didn't get any use out of this at all, but it's okay. This is the primer that I love, and I can't get it anymore once Becca closes, so I'm not really in a rush to like use this up. But it would have been nice to use it at least like once or twice during the time it was in my stash. So just going to keep working on panning my Stila Illuminating Powder Foundation Compact. I've got pretty good progress on this product and hoping I can use this up soon. There's still quite a bit in there. I'm just going to keep working on that, as well as my KKW Brightening Under Eye Powder. This is in shade 2. It's a bit pink. Got a decent sized pan in this as well. I want to just keep working on that. And I still have this concealer that's a little bit too dark for me, just chilling. This is for like cleaning up my brows and such. I need to work on getting that used up. And the other one I really just need to finish is this one from Covergirl. This is the Vitalist Healthy Concealer. This is a great concealer. It's a little dark for me, but the formula is beautiful. I don't know why they discontinued this line. It was so stupid. But now for all the concealers I had pulled into this stash. The Kosas I really like a lot. It does crease a tiny bit on me when I first put it on, but then if I like pat it out, it typically just stays put. It's very hydrating and glossy under your eyes. It's really beautiful. I like this formula a lot. The Maybelline Super Stay was horrible. This is getting decluttered. I hated this so much. It looked super dry under my eyes. It creased and cracked. It was awful. Gone. Bye-bye. Oma Stay Woke concealer was beautiful. I really like this a lot. It was creamy, had nice coverage, and just looked beautiful. The Maybelline Age Rewind should be called like Age Fast Forward. I hated this. I've heard this works so beautifully for so many people, and I was really hoping to use this up. But I have a video showing you guys what it does to my under eyes. It is awful on me. It is going in the trash, or going in my empties and then going in the trash. The Boing Cakeless Concealer I didn't love. I did like that it gave me good coverage, and it did seem to stay in place in parts of my under eye, but other parts it looked really dry. I'm going to keep playing with this one just because I did really like some of the coverage, and I also think this would be nice for spot concealing around my face. I don't know if this is like a beloved one for under my eyes. I definitely don't, well, it's definitely not beloved. I don't know if this is the best formula for under my eyes. I do think it would work well like on my face, but I'm going to keep playing with this one. I'm not quite ready to part with it yet since I've only used it once and it's an entire tube, but I don't know. This one might be getting decluttered as well. And then this one is also going into my empties, even though I only used it once or twice. I think once. Because girl, would you look at this nonsense? The freaking doe foot in this cheap packaging completely popped off and it's like unusable. I'd have to pry that little piece out of the inside and try to like scrape it. I'm not dealing with this. This is absolute trash. So yeah. And then this is the last drawer of my little acrylic organizer. First we had the Catrice color correction palette, or all around color correction palette. I love this and I want to keep this in my stash and just work on using this up because it's awesome. Like I don't even necessarily want to use it up, but it's so good I don't want to put it back. Put it that way. Of course, I loved my e.l.f. Dew Primer, Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This is fantastic. This is my favorite primer ever. It's so good. I also went through some lashes. I'm going to chuck these. This Ardell Faux Mink and the Venus Gale Cosmetics lashes. These will both go in my empties or just in, you know what, just in the trash. I don't usually show lashes in my empties, so we'll just look at them now. But these are both going in the garbage. And then this guy I'm close to being finished with. I picked this up from TJ Maxx. This is the Calming Facial Prime and Setting Mist, Hibiscus Cucumber and Fresh Rose Water from Giovanni. I am not a giant fan of rose scented things, and this is super rose scented, so I'm looking forward to finishing this. But I've made some pretty good progress. This is not a small bottle, and there's not that much left, so this is hopefully on its way out. Then I have my little Patrick Ta fan, and then we have this KVD Shade and Light Contour Palette. This is a cream contour palette. I love this product, and that's why I had kept it in here, but I haven't been reaching for it. I'm going to put it back. That way I have a little bit more room in these drawers. Okay, next let's move into some face products. Starting with my Cover FX blushes, I had pulled Soft Peach, Pink Dahlia, I want to say. Yeah, and a Warm Honey. These are all beautiful. I love them all, and I'm super happy I pulled them. Similarly, I also enjoyed my e.l.f. Putty blushes. I had Fiji, Bahamas, and Bali. I just wrote them on the bottom in indelible marker because trying to read them off this tiny print can be kind of tricky sometimes. I of course used Bahamas the most, but I did enjoy using all three of these blushes. I thought they were all really beautiful. I also enjoyed using my MAC Glow Play blush in the shade So Natural. I thought this was beautiful, just a pretty cream to powder blush. Similarly, this one from Ritual de Fille in Desire is absolutely beautiful. It looks super dark in the pan, but it is such a gorgeous shade. Stunning. How gorgeous. It's like a purpley, mauvey, gorgeous, glossy formula. I think that's so pretty. Surprisingly, I still did not use my Lancome cream blush. This is the Macaroon Blush and Blender in the shade, I think it's like Coral Cool Whip or something. Coral Cream, Coral Whipped Cream. Coral Cool Whip. Could you imagine? Okay. But this is a pretty coral cream blush, and I think just because I had that pretty e.l.f. Fiji blush, I reached for that one. But I do want to get use out of this one. I'm like, I believe in you, little Lancome blush. I believe I will use you someday. Bare Minerals highlighter in the shade Joy. This is the Endless Glow highlighter. Is definitely like one of my top 10 favorite highlighters, I would say. It is so beautiful. It's like a pretty shimmery peach. It's so pretty on the skin. I just love it. I reach for this one so often. I also really enjoyed my Dior highlighter. I mostly reach between the white and pink shades. For the most part, I would sometimes just use them, like I'd just sweep across the two of them, and I think this is a gorgeous highlighter. I also really enjoyed using the Disney Villains Colourpop Super Shock highlighter in Maleficent. This is absolutely beautiful. And I did actually use the Sleek Makeup one time. It was a little bit clunky because these creams don't blend them. They're like not the most emollient creams ever, but I really did like using this one topped with the gold. I thought it was really beautiful. And the last blush I have is this one from NYX. This is the Sweet Cheeks Creamy Powder Blush in the shade Citrine Rose. I also love this. I think this is like the perfect like sunburn type of color blush. It's super beautiful, and I think it was like perfect for summer. It just gives you like a nice glow. It's kind of corally, kind of sunburny. Super beautiful. And then last category before we move into eyeshadow palettes is bronzer. So I did pull the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze. This is in Fair to Light. This is a beautiful bronzer. It's very soft though. And I do like that it's soft, but it's very blendable. It's beautiful on the skin, but it's not the most impactful bronzer I have. I almost wish I had a shade slightly deeper than this one. But it's beautiful. It's a little bit cooler. It's more of like maybe a contour shade. It's not as warm as some other bronzers, but it is really beautiful. I also had this one from Too Faced. This is the Too Faced Brown Peach and Toasted Peach. This one I did like, but I think it's just getting old. I'm going to declutter this one. I didn't like how patchy and streaky this was. It just wasn't the easiest to blend. I really didn't enjoy using it. And like I said, I did like it at one point. I don't know if my tastes have just changed or if the product has changed due to its age, but this is going to go. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Sunlight. This is such a favorite. I have loved this for so many years. I got a lot more use out of it. There's a little bit of a dip happening in the center. This is such a beautiful product. I loved this every time I used it. So happy I re-pulled it. Fell back in love with it. It's fantastic. And then the last bronzer I had pulled was this one from Huda Beauty. This is the Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream in the shade Light. I do like this product, but I almost wish I had the fair version instead of the light version. I do think this pulls a little bit deep. I also think that this is a product where you only need the tiniest little bit and it blends forever. So I do like this. It's not my favorite cream bronzer. I can think of like 6 of them I like more than this one. But I do want to test through all my cream bronzers, and I want to eventually do a ranking video for you guys. So we'll see. We'll see where this one falls in the mix. But it's not a bad product. It's not a favorite. It's not one I don't like. It's good. It's a good one. And then lastly, let's tackle eyeshadow palettes.
So these are the palettes that are missing from my footage. I did use the e.l.f. palettes. This is the Cool Mist. I only used this e.l.f. palette. I didn't use this one, but I used a couple of these shades as a base for another palette we're going to talk about. I love this formula. I think this palette is so much fun. I wish e.l.f. would put these back out again. This was the other palette. This one is Island Breeze. And this palette I did not get any use out of, but it's the same type of formula. Neon Drip I wanted to play with really badly. This is a beautiful color story, but I just never had an occasion. I was never in the mood to be like super neon, which is a shame because the summer is the perfect time for that. This palette by Spoiled Lips Cosmetics I did play with. I don't think I was on camera for this look. I just did it for date night, but this was really beautiful. Surprisingly, it was a lot more cool toned and less like purpley green than I thought. Like I thought this was a green shade. It was actually just pretty much gray. Same with this one that looks a little bit green. So I was a little bit surprised that this was a little bit more cool tone, less colorful than I thought, but the look I created was absolutely beautiful. I loved it, and I'll try to insert a picture. Next, I had pulled the Exotic Peacock palette, and I did play with this on camera. I did a collab video with this palette, and I really like the look I came out with. The formula is definitely not my favorite, but it's a lot more workable than I thought it would be. I also did use the Marc Jacobs Extravagance palette. I had to go onto a Zoom call, and I did my makeup before the call, and this was what I wore, and I really thought it was a beautiful palette. I think you can create some really gorgeous, glamorous looks or beautiful everyday looks with this palette. And then this Becca Volcano Goddess palette was the one I played with the e.l.f. Cool Breeze. Again, I don't believe I was on camera for this look, but it was just kind of more my own personal time. I really like playing with this. It's really pretty. It's a mainly shimmer palette. I wish it had a deeper shade. I wish that some of these sparkles didn't get so hard panny, but I do like a lot of the formulas in this palette, and I was happy I got some more use out of it. And then last we have my Alamar Cosmetics palettes. I did not play with Spanglish at all, but I did create a look using the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1, a lot of these shades. And I did also dip into Reina del Caribe Volume 2 for this beautiful green shade. I believe it was my Target haul video, but I'm so happy that I played with these palettes. The formula is really beautiful, easy to use, and I cannot wait to play with these again.
I also enjoyed using my e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. I did a video with this recently for an affordable face of makeup. And then the Saie London palette, I also had planned to play with this with those e.l.f. Velvet Touch eyeshadows, using those as cream bases, and then layering them with these beautiful shades, but I didn't get around to that either. Then we have my two Ace Beauté palettes. We had Nostalgia and Oceanic. I did not end up playing with these. Part of me wants to just keep these in this stash, and part of me is just like, let's pull some new stuff. These are both really beautiful. I just didn't get a chance to play with them. And then lastly, we have the Natasha Denona Gold palette. This is the one I wore for my birthday when I went out with my girlfriends for dinner. It's in my vlog video. I had fun with this one. It's a really beautiful palette and definitely a classic. Okay, y'all, so it is time once again to shop my stash. I need to pick out all new makeup products and create my little curated collection for videos. So let's start shopping. So let's start first with my bronzer drawer. We have a lot of choices. I want to pick out a couple cream and powder bronzers to try out for this rotation. The first cream product that I know I want to pick out is this one from Fenty. This is the Fenty Cream Bronzer in 03 Macchiato. I also want to pick out my Chanel Tandy Chanel Cream Bronzer. I think it's like Le Beige or something like that. And the third one I want to choose is this Saie Bronzer. Mine is in light bronze. And then for powder, I want to try this new one I got from Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. This is the Nabla Bronzer. Mine is in Ambra. Let's also pull the iconic London one that we got from BoxyCharm. Mine is in light bronze. And let's also choose out this Milani one. I have not used this in forever. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer. Mine is in 04 Glow. And I know that seems like a lot of bronzers, but I do use this collection for about a month before I shop for more products. So it gives me a lot of opportunity to try these products. Next for highlighter, I want to grab two of these Nablas. I did pick up two new ones during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I got Ozone. I had Amnesia before, so that's the old one. Let's also grab out Privilege. In fact, I think I'll actually also pick out this highlighter. This is the Amnesia one from Nabla. I figure why not? Let's just grab all three. I also have been wanting to try the Danessa Myricks highlighter. This is the Duet Morning Dew highlighter. I also see a palette back here I want to try. This is a highlighting palette from Bitter Lace Beauty. There's some really cool highlighters in here. I also haven't reached for my MAC highlighters in a while. I think I will grab this one. This is Soft and Gentle. Next we have my blush drawer. This one is definitely getting a little crazy. Not a little, it's getting a lot crazy. So let's pick out some blush. I think I definitely want to grab out these two Bare Minerals blushes. This one is Pink Sky, and this one is Coral Cloud. Let's grab some more. I've been using this one a ton lately. Let's go back this way. You know what I have not used in forever is these Too Faced blushes. So what I'm trying to do with these Shop My Stashes is just try to get, oh wait, you know what? Speaking of, back to my highlighter drawer. I wanted to grab out these two Urban Decays. I absolutely never use these, ever. So I want to pull them to see if I even like them. Every time I swatch them, I decide to keep them. I have Aura and Sin. So now I actually want to test them out and see if I really like them enough to keep them. So we have a lot of highlighters. So let's pick out some more blushes. Let's try this one from Lime Crime. This is a cream blush. It's in Flash Drive. Let's also pull... Should we pull some of these liquid blushes? Probably. You know what? I'm going to grab these two Illamasqua blushes. These are the Color Veils. This one is in Entice. And this one is in Consume. Okay, what else should we grab? Let's see what's under here. I think I just used a lot of these recently. I haven't pulled this one for a while. This one is from The Balm. This is the Down Boy blush. And let's also grab this Charlotte Tilbury blush. This is the Pillow Talk Intense. Let's also grab this Melt Cream blush. These are the Blush Lights in Polished. And while we're at it, let's also grab the Menagerie Arthurine Blush Palette, Volume 1. And I think that's good for blushes. Actually, no, it's not. Let's also grab Patrick Ta. I haven't used this one in forever. This is She's Seductive. No, this is She's So LA. This is... Actually, yeah, let's take this. And here it is. This is She's Seductive. Next, I want to pull concealers and primers. I'm going to pull a bunch of concealers. I was able to declutter a couple the last time I did a Shop My Stash, so I am looking to test out a few more of these and see what I like. So let's grab, there's so much stuff in here, it's insane. Let's grab this L'Oreal Infallible. Let's grab L'Oreal Full Wear and Maybelline, Covergirl Trublend. Let's also grab NYX Born to Glow. And let's also grab this Milk one. This is the Flex Concealer. For primer, I usually like a moisturizing, a tacky, and a glowy primer. So for the moisturizing primer, I think I'm going to pull this Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I've made some progress on this and it'd be nice to use this one up. For tacky, let's grab the NYX Honey Do Me Up. I know I just used this recently, but I also just used my e.l.f. primer even more recently. I have a Milk makeup somewhere in here, which I should probably pull. In fact, let's do that instead. Yeah, I have this new Milk makeup primer. It's been in my drawer for a long time, but it's unopened. So I'm going to pull a Milk makeup primer. And then for our glowy primer, let's try another new one. This is the Wander Catch the Light Highlighter and Glotion. It's got a little cream highlighter on one end and it's got like a glowy product inside. So let's grab this. Okay, now we are at the foundation drawer. First, I think I want to grab these two Hourglass stick foundations. I haven't used these in forever. Let's also grab, let's try the new MAC Face and Body. This isn't a new product, it's just new to me. I picked this up when I was in New York. And this has gotten so many great reviews over the years, I really want to try it. Let's also grab out the Milani Glow. This is a hydrating skin tint. Oh, I definitely want to try the Wet n Wild. So let's pull him. I wanted to try the Instabake from Beauty Bakery again. And for our final choice, let's grab out the Kevyn Aucoin Stripped Nude Skin Tint. Moving down to this section, let's pick out some lippies. So we have glosses. And let's grab these two from Persona. These look like nice sort of fallish tones. As we move from summer into fall, we've got Toffee and Honey. Let's also grab Queen by Ofra X Samantha March. It's a pretty gloss. And this looks like a pretty gloss from Lorac. Let's also grab this Rowan one. I feel like I just pulled this recently, but I don't think I actually used it. This is in the shade Charlie. Then moving into liquid lipsticks. Let's grab this one out by Ofra. Looks like a pretty brown. This is the shade Verona. Let's also grab... Oh, let's grab some of these guys. Let's grab all of these guys. We'll grab the Rare Beauty, And I want these three Anastasia Beverly Hills and this Pure Lippy. These all look like really pretty tones. And let's just go ham. We'll grab the Gerard Cosmetics. And we'll grab these 2 Dose of Colors. I haven't used these in a hot minute. Then moving into Bullet Lippies. I'm going to grab all of these little bite sticks. Something different. What should we grab? Those are really pretty, the Huda ones. Oh, let's grab this one out from Milk Makeup. This is the shade Creme. And heck, let's go ham again. We'll grab the Becca, the Tarte, and all of these Melt Lippies. We're just going in today. And then we have this lippy drawer here. And I think I'll grab some Loracs. I think I'll grab these top 3. I definitely don't get enough use out of these, so let's use them. I think I'm good on my drugstore lippies, and I have a setting spray I'm trying to use up, so we're good on that drawer. Then moving into single pigments. Whew, okay, let's grab out... Let's grab out this little Stila duo that I picked up from TJ Maxx a couple weeks ago. It's pretty cute. And I think I'll try the Kiko products I picked up from New York because I haven't gotten to try these yet. So I think I'll grab these 3. I don't want to go too crazy in this drawer because I never end up using the things I pull. So I'm trying to be more realistic so that maybe I actually will use what I pull from this drawer. For powder, let's grab out the Flower Light Illusion powder. I do have a powder I'm currently trying to pan, so I typically don't pull powders, but this one is so close to being done that I just want to try it. And then I don't know how much I'm loving the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder I have pulled, so I think I'm going to pull the Mented as well and get some more use out of this little guy. And then this is just more powder, so we don't need that. Lip liners, I think I'll pull as needed. I don't wear lip liners that often, and I don't use the ones I pull that often. I have my colorful liners pulled out of this drawer, so I reach for them more. Face palettes I think we're good on, and then this is like drugstore eyeshadows, which I also think we're good on. I'm not going to pull any brow products this rotation because the store is so hard to get back in. It's just everything's so full and it's ridiculous. So I'm currently working on a new brow pencil because I did finish up my old one, and I'm still working on the, I think it's like Give Me Brow or something from Essence, so I don't need that. I'm not going to pull any more single pigments because I already pulled a couple and I'm hoping to use those. Let's check out this drawer first and see what we should play with this rotation. Okay, so the first palette I know I want to pull is this one from Beautylish. I have already played with this palette. I have a video. I just need to edit it for you guys, but I just want to play with it again. My drawers are like Tetris. It's ridiculous. So this is the Wilderness palette, and I definitely want to play with him. And actually, while we're here, let's pull the Nomad from Juvia's as well. And I can see down here some Lunar Beauty palettes. I also think I want to pull the Flare palette. So, like, while we're uncovering all this stuff, let's grab out Flare and let's grab out Eternal Eclipse. I haven't played with this one since my video, and I was so in love with this in my video, and this formula is amazing, and I want to play with it again. And then I think I'll also pull Subculture, just for fun, from ABH. And that leaves just one drawer left, and it's going to be a hard choice. This is like all of my favorites. Okay, so let's play with Kaleidos. I did just play with the Sashimi City palette, and it was extraordinary. I loved it so much. So should we play with the purple one, or should we play with my newest one, which is number 2? Let's grab them both. But I also want to play with Club Nebula, and maybe she's in Parties. Sydney Grace, Enduring Love. Okay, so now let's take all of this back to my desk so we can take a look at what we pulled. Okay, so let's start with bronzers. We have the Fenty Cream Bronzer in Macchiato. We have the Saie Bronzer in Light Bronze. That is the shade. And then we have my Chanel Bronzer, and this is Le Beige, and that is what she looks like. Then we have the Milani Baked Bronzer in Glow, and that is what this bronzer looks like. It's a pretty marbled pan. I just haven't used this in forever, and I want to see if I want to hang on to it. Then we have my newest bronzer from Nabla. This is the Nabla Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effective Bronzing Powder in Ombre, and that is what this one looks like. And then we have the Iconic London Bronzer in Light Bronze, and this is what this bronzer looks like. Then for our blushes, we have the Melt Blush in Polished, and this is this shade. We also have Bare Minerals. This is the Bounce and Blur in Coral Cloud. And here's what this bronzer looks like. And we also have the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur in Pink Sky. And this is what this blush looks like. We have Lime Crime Software Blush in Flash Drive. This is a really pretty, like, glossy pink. We have the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Intense. This is the Cheek to Chic. And this is what this blush looks like. We have Down Boy from The Balm. This is a really pretty cool tone pink. It's kind of weird picking out blushes before I picked out eyeshadow palettes, so hopefully these will kind of go together. Next from Patrick Ta, we have She's Seductive. And here's what this blush looks like. And last we have She's So LA from Patrick Ta. And this is what this blush looks like. Oh, and then I also did pull these two from Illamasqua. We have Entice and Consume. This is Consume. And this is Entice. Just some really pretty fall tones. Then moving into highlighters, I have two from Urban Decay. These are their Afterglow highlighters. I have Sin, which is this like pretty champagne-y shade. And then I have Aura. And this is like a pretty opalescent pink. I also grabbed all three of my Nablas. We have Amnesia, which looks like this. We have Privilege, and that is what Privilege looks like. And then we have Ozone, and this is what Ozone looks like. I also pulled the Danessa Myricks Beauty Dew Wet Highlighter in Morning Dew. This one is like a bomb. So we're gonna try it. And the last one I pulled was MAC Soft and Gentle, and this is a beautiful highlighter. Then moving into our palettes, we have the Colourpop California Love, and this just looks so pretty. We have the Nomad by Juvia's, and this is what this palette looks like. We picked out the Nabla Side by Side palette, and this is a beautiful neutral color story. And we also chose out the Nabla Analog Cutie palette, which is so beautiful, and the Nabla Midnight Cutie palette, which is also really beautiful. From Kaleidos, we chose out Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze. I was finally able to pick this up on Mercari. I was so excited, and here she is. And I also wanted to try the Futurism 6 Lunar Lavender, which is also really beautiful. I also chose out Melt Cheese and Parties. The Natasha Denona Retro inspired me to pull this one. I also grabbed that in Oldie But Goodie Subculture from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Thought this had some really pretty fall shades. I also grabbed out this highlighting palette from Bitter Lace Beauty. This was a empty palette that I purchased from the brand, and then I filled it with 6 highlighters they have. So I wanted to try to get some use out of these. They are so beautiful. I also chose out the Arthurine Blush Palette from Menagerie, so we can play with some of these really pretty shades. I also chose out the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay, and this is what this beautiful palette looks like. And I thought the Flare palette from Ace Beauté would be a really pretty choice. This one has a lot of like fall going into summer tones. There's a lot of colorful shades in here, but they're a little bit more this time of year, I think. I also chose out the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. It is just so pretty. Next, let's look at some lippies. So first from Melt, we have Stepford, 710, On The Go, and Tomboy. The next from Bite, we have Orange Fizz. We've got those 3 minis that I picked up in my TJ Maxx video. I know it's like Negroni. And then these are like all names that are hard for me to pronounce, but they're these little 3 lippy sticks. And then this last one is in Brandy. I got this one, I think, from a BoxyCharm. Then we have Date Night and Stone from Dose of Colors. Next, we have Dazed, Hudson, and Bittersweet from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Next, we have Honey and Toffee from Persona Cosmetics. Then we have Verona from Ofra and Queen from Samantha March x Ofra. Next, from Lorac, we have True Beauty, Très Chic, and Entrepreneur. We also have Aphrodite from Lorac. Then we have Pure Innocent and Rowan Charlie. Then we have Tarte and Berry Mojito. And we have Rare Beauty and Confident. Then for our last 3 lippies, we have Cream from Milk. We have Mudslide from Gerard Cosmetics. And we have Taupe from Becca. I am so excited and inspired by all of these lippies. There's only a couple nudes and there's so many other like pretty tones. I'm so inspired. Next, for the only category where I managed to have any kind of self-control other than primers, I have a couple little single pigments. So I have the Holiday Gems from Kiko Milano. This is in the shade Coral Symphony. I picked this up while I was on my New York trip and I just thought it was a really pretty color. I also grabbed my other Kiko single. It's like a wet and dry formula, number 200. And this is what this beautiful shadow looks like. And I thought it also might be fun to pull this little Stila duo. This is the Kaleidoscope Eyeshadow Duo. And this is what this little guy looks like. Speaking of primers, I did pick out the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is basically just like a moisturizer. So I'm about halfway finished. I'd like to use this up. Choose out this primer from Wander Beauty. This is the Catch the Light Highlighter and Glotion. So there is a little cream highlighter on one end and then the tube contains a glotion. So I thought we would try this for like a glowy base. Since I finished up my mini, I thought I would go ahead and bust out the Milk Makeup Large Primer. This is great for like a sticky base, but I do think that there are some great drugstore equivalents that you can save a lot of money and they work just as well, if not better. So I thought I would bust out this bad boy for this rotation for our sticky primer. I also grabbed 2 powders. I grabbed the Mented Loose Setting Powder and I grabbed the Flower Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. For foundation, I did choose out the Beauty Bakery Instabake foundation. I also grabbed out my 2 shades of the Hourglass foundation. I have Alabaster and Vanilla. And then for lighter coverage, I have the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Foundation. I have the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. I have the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. And I have the Kevyn Aucoin Strip Nude Skin Tint. And then for concealer, I wanted to pick a mix of high-end and drugstore. We've got Covergirl Trublend Undercover. We've got the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer. We have the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. We have the Dior Skin Forever Undercover Concealer. We have the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, I believe. We have the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. And we have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. And lastly, we have the NYX Born to Glow Concealer. So this is my new stash for the next month. I'm so excited to play with all of these new goodies. I love pulling new makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos as well. I know they can tend to be a little bit long, but I do try to give you guys more thorough reviews and show you a bit more about these products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I love you all so much, and until the next video. Bye-bye.